Today, we're diving into something that isn't just another update. It's a really fundamental shift in how we're going to work with AI. We're talking about Anthropic's Claude Skills, and why they might just be the dawn of a whole new, much more powerful era for AI agents.
Okay, let's just start with a feeling I think we all know way too well. You spend ages, crafting the perfect prompt. You finally get the AI to understand your unique workflow, and then the very next day, it's got total amnesia. You have to start all over again. This AI amnesia has been a massive roadblock to real productivity, at least until now.
For way too long, we've been stuck in this loop, right? Crafting these one-off, ephemeral prompts that just vanish the second the conversation ends. Now, don't get me wrong, it's great for simple stuff, but for any kind of serious, repeatable, professional work, it's just so inefficient. And that whole way of doing things is officially on its way out.
And this is the solution. Anthropic rolled out this new framework called Skills, and honestly, it's a brilliant move. We're basically shifting from giving Claude temporary instructions to building a library of permanent, reusable capabilities. Think of it like this. It's the difference between hiring a temp for an hour versus training a full-time expert to be on your team forever.
So, what is a skill, really? Well, imagine a self-contained little folder, a complete knowledge package just for your AI. And this isn't just some fancy saved prompt. Oh no, it's a powerful mix of instructions, reference documents, and you can even include executable code, all designed to give Claude a deep, lasting understanding of how to do a complex task exactly your way.
Okay, let's break this down, because it's actually pretty simple. A skill has 4 key parts. First, you've got the skill.md file. This is the heart of it, the how-to manual you write for Claude in plain English. Then there's something called front matter, which is basically a simple table of contents with a name and a description, so Claude can see at a glance what the skill does. You can also throw in supplementary resources, things like your company style guide or API docs that act as its own little reference library. And for the real power move, you can add executable scripts. These are the power tools for those jobs that need absolute rock-solid precision.
But here is where it gets really clever. The true genius isn't just in what a skill holds. It's in how Claude gets to that information without its brain just, melting. This is the secret sauce that makes the whole thing work at scale.
This comparison just says it all. The old way was like handing the AI a massive 1,000-page instruction manual for every single task. It was painfully slow and token-heavy, which just means it used up a huge chunk of the AI's limited working memory before you even started. But this new way, progressive disclosure, it's like giving the AI just the index page of that manual. It finds the right skill, and only then does it turn to the correct page. The leap in efficiency is it's enormous.
And just how heavy was it? Some of the older methods could require loading over 10,000 tokens. Think of them as little units of information, right up front. That's a huge piece of the AI's working memory gone before you've even asked it to do anything. It was a crippling limitation, and it's the exact problem that skill sets were built to solve.
So how does Claude actually pull this off? It's this beautiful 3-step process. First up is discovery. Claude does a super quick scan of just the name and description of every skill you've given it. It's incredibly lightweight. Second is invocation. When your request matches a skill's description, then and only then does Claude load up the full instructions. And finally, step 3 is deep reference. If that skill needs to check a specific style guide or something, it only pulls up that file when it's explicitly told to. It's just a brilliant solution to giving an AI a massive library of knowledge without completely breaking its context window. Okay, so the technology is brilliant, we get that. But this isn't just about a cool new feature. This is a strategic move in a much bigger, high-stakes battle for the entire future of AI ecosystems, especially in the world of big business. And this table here really lays out the 2 different philosophies perfectly. You've got OpenAI's custom GPTs, which are kind of like a Swiss Army knife, super flexible and built for a massive consumer-facing app store. Then you have Anthropic with Skills. They're forging a set of specialized chef's knives. They're all about governance and predictability, and they're aiming squarely at the professional market, where reliability is everything. It's a classic fight, a super broad platform versus deep, specialized workflow integration. And you know what? That strategy is already paying off. Let's make this real for a second. The Japanese tech giant Rakuten is using Skills to automate their finance workflows. They taught Claude their very specific procedures, and the result is a mind-blowing jump in productivity. Work that used to take a full day of manual labor now takes just 1 hour. That isn't just a small improvement, that's a complete reinvention of a core business process.
And they are absolutely not alone.
Box is using skills to turn raw, messy files into perfectly branded presentations, saving their users hours of tedious formatting. Notion and Canva are building deeper, more reliable integrations. It's all about embedding this AI right into the core, high-value workflows that major companies rely on every day.
But this isn't just a story about big enterprise companies. What's really exciting is the grassroots movement that this whole thing has kicked off. We are seeing what you could only call a Cambrian explosion of creativity as the developer community gets its hands on this and just starts building amazing things.
And just look at the variety here. People are building everything from business automation tools to stuff for developers. But you know what the really clever part is? The community is starting to build meta skills. These are skills that actually create other skills. The ecosystem is literally teaching itself how to grow and how to do it faster and faster.
So yeah, the potential is obviously massive. But, like with any powerful new tech, it's really important to take a clear-eyed look at the road ahead, to understand not just the incredible promise, but also the perils and the practical limitations that exist right now.
And of course, this is still new technology, so there are some really important limitations to keep in mind. The ability to execute code means security is a shared responsibility, so companies need to have strong rules in place. Access is currently limited to paid plans. Performance can sometimes be a bit inconsistent as the feature gets more mature, and developers have to be aware of platform constraints like restricted network access. But look, these are early-day challenges. The long-term vision here is crystal clear. We are moving toward an AI that doesn't just complete one little task for you, but can autonomously chain together multiple skills to pull off incredibly complex workflows. Just imagine an agent that can pull sales data, run an analysis, generate the charts, and assemble it all into a branded quarterly report, with almost no human input. That's the future this is all heading towards.
Which, of course, brings us to the final thought. For the very first time, we have a practical way to give our AI assistants a permanent memory and teach them skills that actually last forever. That old barrier of AI amnesia is finally coming down. So the only real question left is, what's the first thing you're going to teach it?